So yeah, there was like Clark was doing a workout recently at the facility, and she hit 50 of 54 3-point attempts.
That's more than half, I think.
That is more than half.
That's good.
Did you guys see that they're tearing down the jail, the old main Marion County jail. They replaced that. They built a new one a year or two ago, but then I think the old jail had been vacant, and they tore it down over the last week or so, but they are going to build a new fever training facility there now, just for the fever, and it's $70 million or something like that
to keep all the fever players in jail.
I think they're not going to. The jail's gone.
Oh, okay, all right. I was like, that's a lot. That seems expensive to just keep a few ladies in prison.
Yeah, no, it's they're going to build a new building with mostly I'm guessing workout stuff and basketball courts and stuff.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, so just prepare to.
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect. Yeah, so just prepare to.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
That train is off the track.
I feel like you can't just jump through Neptune and be okay.
Just prepare to.
What the show needs is more dogs and bears and chickens and stuff.
Yeah, so just prepare to be awash in unbeatable goodness.
All right.
I looked up All-Stars, and I have Rowena Patton's All-Star Powerhouse is what popped up first. It's a real estate agency here in Nashville. Rowena.
Nice. Are you on Bing or what are you doing? I will say this: the new Google AI summaries have been mostly terrible for me. So I just look past them now. You can't turn them off, of course, but.
So you're saying that you're smarter than the robot overlords? Did I hear
I'm
you
just
say
saying
that out loud?
A lot of these are just factually incorrect. So, that doesn't make me smarter than them. That makes them wrong.
You tell them, Joe. I'll be over here on the sidelines.
With your gaslight.
I just don't want to piss him off. Not yet.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You are listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. This is episode 745. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida, the man behind the dials. This show, we're going to discuss the All-Star starters. We've got a boomerang for you. I'm going to get some advice from my co-hosts here. And if we've got time, we'll get you done to Googleable. Joining me this show are two of our three analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out, we're almost at the end of January, so if you're doing a dry January, you've almost made it.
Yeah.
One more day.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender, mixing up the drinks in the crappy jingles, and the reason for the season, John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? Shout out this week to Greg Popovich. Turned 76 on the 28th, so just a couple days ago.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. Well, before we get into the show, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but we want to remind listeners that they can support us, the longest running Pacers podcast, by heading over to patreon.com/undebeatables. patreon.com/undebeatables. And you can support our show for as little as $1 per month. And no maximum that I know of, but but I think if you just want to do $1, we'll take that $1. We appreciate that.
We take meme coins too, right?
We can.
Okay.
We whatever, man. If it's you want to dump off your old NFTs, I'll take them. I don't know. I'll put them in a pile somewhere.
Sure. That'll get you a koozie.
I'll send you a koozie for some dusty old NFTs. They got a monkey on them? I'm in. All right, Colson, you want to start us off with that boomerang?
Yeah, I do.
A bango ain't your baby.
I did mention in the opening that it is Greg Popovich's 76th birthday. I don't know if fans of the show have been paying attention, but he experienced what they're calling a mild stroke earlier in the season. And we're wishing him the best. Hope he's back soon. But one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. And I wanted to go around the boomerang Skype table and see if you guys can name the 11 coaches that he has passed to become the winningest coach in NBA history. You guys have heard of all these guys, so 1,408 wins Greg Popovich has.
Does he get the wins for the team when he's not coaching right now?
It's possible. I'm not.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with
I
it.
think he's still technically the head coach.
I think
so.
he
I
does.
mean, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
Like, didn't we run into this situation one time when, like, Luke Walton was the interim coach or something like that?
Yeah, and he wasn't getting any wins.
Yeah,
That's
like
right.
Phil Jackson or something was still racking them up. Or
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to clarify, Colson, because you said 2 lists for us. One was coaches that Pop has passed on the way
Yes.
to be in the top.
The number 1. Yeah.
But then you said we're looking for the top 11 coaching of all time. So those are 2 different things. So if somebody was behind Pop the entire time, but they're now in the top 10 list, he would never have passed them. But
Okay, so Greg Popovich passed all of these guys in winning.
okay.
1,408 wins. At
So
one
this is-
point,
But
These-
what we're saying is this is the number 2 through 11. Is
yes,
that what
2
it is?
through 11 winningest coaches of all time after Greg Popovich.
Okay.
Should we start the show over? I don't know. What's
No,
No.
I just there's a
I
scenario.
understand what you're getting at, but the way you phrase it
I don't
is
get.
not-
I don't know what I'm getting at anymore.
Well, there could be a scenario where there was a really good coach that started not long after Popovich that could be
That's true.
that he never would have passed, but could be
Right.
right behind him. You know?
Right. There are some of these guys that he definitely. No, he's passed all these guys.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know. Most of them.
2 through 11.
Okay, 2 through 11. All right, go
Top
ahead.
coaches of
Go
all
ahead.
time. Joey, do you want to start?
Let's go with Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson's number 7 all time with 1,155 regular season wins.
I'm going to go with Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny Wilkins, number 3 all time, 1,332 regular season wins.
We'll do Pat Riley.
Pat Riley, excellent. Number 5 all time with 1,210 wins.
Good job, Joey. Don Nelson.
Don Nelson, number 2 all time, 1,335. Lenny Wilkins just right behind him.
This is where I'm going to start to. I'm going to know who they are.
Yeah, you know all these guys. Some of them potentially used to be Pacer coaches.
Well, I don't think it was Larry Bird. How about what's his head? Nate Old Nate. Nate won.
Nate McMillan, number 19. He did not make
Not
the
Nate.
pool. Yeah.
Not Nate. Not Nate Jr.
Nate Bjorkgren.
Yeah.
Well, with that hint, I'll go Larry Brown.
Larry Brown, number 9
sure.
all time. 1,098 wins.
All right, let me see if we can get the rest. Red
Yeah,
Auerbach.
Auerbach is 13 all time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. The
who
reason
was the
I
other
said
guy?
11,
So Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, so that's who I was thinking of, who Pop did not pass.
Right.
He must have
did
been
not
ahead of
pass.
him the whole
Right.
time. Right. So.
Yeah, he has
Okay.
been ahead of him the entire time. You're correct.
Doc Rivers.
Doc Rivers, yeah, he's 8 all time with 1139.
Okay.
You're only missing 3 guys.
What's his name? The guy that used to coach the Blazers. Rick Adelman.
Rick Adelman, well done. Number 10.
Nice.
1,042 wins. So Carlisle's coming for him here in a season or 2.
Where's the garbage man? Is there a Van Gundy on the list?
There's not a Van Gundy on the list.
What about like Paul Westphal?
No. Think Utah Jazz.
Oh yeah, Jerry Sloan.
Jerry Sloan, number 4
sure,
all
yeah.
time with 1221. And then this last one, coached all over the place, probably most well known for the Seattle Supersonics.
Oh, George Karl.
Well done.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
1175, number 6. So there's your top 11. 12 is Bill Fitch, and 14 is Dick Moda. So I don't know.
Yeah, Dick Motta. All right.
And then there's Jack Ramsey as 15. There was an ex-Pacer coach.
Dr. Jack.
Yeah.
Was Carl one of the guys that got fired after being coach of the year? Was he?
I think so, yeah. It sounds like a thing.
I think there's a list of people that have done that, and I feel like he was the one that was on it.
Nick Nurse, maybe? I don't know. Coach Bud. I feel like all these guys. Mike Brown, definitely. Spolstra's 18. He's coming fast for Gene Shue. And
Oh,
Cotton
right.
and Cotton Fitzsimmons.
Oh, Cotton.
Oh, Cotton.
All right, well, shout out to Greg Popovich. Oh, real quickly.
Yeah, feel better soon, Pop.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you know where he was born?
He was born in Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, right outside of Gary, Indiana, East Chicago. And he went to high school in Maryville, which, fun fact, is the largest town in Indiana.
Really?
Yeah.
What makes it? What's the definition of a town? Though? Do you know?
If it's smaller than a city,
Okay.
if it's not incorporated, like
Okay.
Fishers is a city, technically.
They weren't though. I don't think
Right.
for a long time.
They used to be bigger than Maryville, and then they became
Oh,
a
I
city.
see. So they incorporated, and then
Yeah. So Maryville is currently your largest town in Indiana.
and they gave.
So what
away.
is it? Now they can levy taxes if you incorporate. You can. Levy
I think
taxes?
so, yeah.
Okay.
And make yourself a roundabout. You know?
Gotcha.
All right. Well, also Colson, you put East Chicago in quotes. Isn't that the name of the city?
It is, yeah.
So you just want to make sure we knew it was literally called.
Yeah.
It was in quotes.
It's not East Chicago. It's literally East Chicago.
East Chicago, which just works perfectly on an audio medium.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. All right, next topic we wanted to discuss with you were the All-Star starters have been announced for the 2024-2025 season. The All-Star game will be played Sunday, February 16th this year in San Francisco. They've got the new format for the whole All-Star weekend, or I guess the All-Star game, but they'll be doing a 4-team, 3-game mini tournament. So, for the All-Star starters from the Eastern Conference, for the little guys, we've got Jalen Brunson from the New York Knickerbockers, Donovan Mitchell, Cleveland Cavaliers, Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics, and for the Biggies, Karl Anthony Towns, also of the Knickerbockers, and Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Bucks. Western Conference, SGA from OKC, Stephen Curry from the Warriors, Nikola Jokic from the Nuggets, Kevin Durant from the Suns, and LeBron James, 40 years old,
Wow.
all-star starter.
That's it. Yeah.
So this year,
Curry,
this year
Durant, and James make it. It's wild.
Unbelievable.
yeah. Old guard is still there.
Holding on tight.
Yeah, and some old forwards too.
I see what you did there.
Thank you. Yeah, there you go. So, any surprises from this one? I guess the surprise is that the old guys are still all-star starters.
Yeah, and I mean, I think LaMelo Ball got shafted. I think there's going to be an investigation into this later, and we're going to find out that the media probably selected him, and the NBA trounced it. They said no.
So the makeup, the formula is, for the starters, is fans get 50% of the vote. Current NBA players get 25%, and there's a media panel that gets 25%. So
And LaMelo Ball was leading all guards in the East
In the East,
going into this
like by
from the
a
fans.
by a mile, yeah, from the fans.
but this was the fan vote.
Right.
correct.
So that
maybe he's
means
not as popular with
the
the
players
and
and
the
the
media.
media. I mean, but he would have had to be buried by those guys to not make the top five. He was, I guess, only top two. There's only two guards that go in.
Right, but he could easily have been buried. There's lots of good cards.
His team is not very good.
No.
He's fun to watch. And the fans, this is for the fans. I'm not sure why he'll make the team, don't you think? Or is this question?
I mean, you would think. I mean, he's averaging like 29 and 7.5 or something like that, but his team is horrid. And the coaches pick the reserves.
Right.
If there's one thing that we've learned over the years is that coaches value winning. Like, they're less likely to reward a good stats bad team guy.
Yeah.
So I think he's on the fence. I guess we got to work out who we think is on the reserves. Like, who do you think is on the reserves? So you get 2 guards, 3 forwards, and 2 wild cards. Brunson and Mitchell are your starting guards. I would put Garland and Cade Cunningham, probably, as my next guards.
Do people like? Do we like a Trey Young?
I think he's been having a pretty good season.
Yeah.
His team is certainly better than the
Charlotte
than the
Hornets.
Yeah.
So maybe you still got another wild card at that point, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does Damian Lillard get in over LaMelo Ball?
Possibly. Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey's having a hell of a season.
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, and we're not saying Halliburton. He's had such an up and down beginning of the season, but he's awful good.
Yeah,
I mean he's definitely at least a fence player there.
and then what do you think for the forwards? Do you think Pascal Siakam has a chance?
Yeah, I do. I think the Pacers are a team to be reckoned with, and I think people are starting to realize that. And I think we've got to be. We should get somebody, and he's been our most consistent player. So I think Pascal makes it.
Gotcha.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
I would say, Jaylen Brown will make it.
Yeah.
For sure. Evan Mobley.
Probably. So that gives
Cleveland's
them.
like
It gives
running
you
away with the East,
Garland,
so-
Mobley, Mitchell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works for me. They're really good.
Tatum and Brown from the Celtics.
What about Derek White? Nah.
He's been not having that great of a year, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know the numbers, but I know he's been sliding.
I'm saying if I were the coaches, I think I'd throw in LaMelo Ball
You think so? Okay.
over.
He would certainly be fun in an All-Star game.
I'd put him in over what, Lillard or Trae Young,
Probably.
but
Interestingly,
not
I
over
think the
Cunningham.
coaches probably rank Lillard higher than Trae Young, but
Yeah.
just because they reward history to some degree.
Yeah, and I mean, and Maxey is a tough guy to leave out.
Yeah, but Philly is also sucking. this year.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna say put in Ball and Lillard with your wild cards.
And then your forwards are
Mobley, Siakam, and Brown.
Brown, Mobley, and Siakam.
Yeah. Cunningham.
All right, and then in the West, all right, starters: Shea, Steph, Durant, LeBron, and Jokic. By the way, both conferences, I think they got this right as far as starters.
Okay.
And whatnot. And then bench. Let's see. Who are your locks? Anthony Davis
Yeah.
is a lock.
Lock.
Wembanyama's a lock. Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
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 I would say yeah.
Yeah.
Lock. He is now the 3-point franchise leader for the Wolves.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was crazy.
He's shooting 42.6% from the 3-point line this year and putting up like 8+ a game or something.
And he took it from Big Cat.
Wow.
Nice.
About De'Aaron Fox.
I don't know about a lock.
Yeah, not a lock.
Okay. Jaren Jackson Jr.
I don't know if I'm giving that a lock either.
Norm Powell.
Man, can Norm Powell make an All-Star game?
He's been playing amazing this year.
Yeah,
Devin
he
Booker.
has.
Is Devin Booker an All-Star for you? He's so good, by the way. I was watching the Wizards were playing Phoenix last night, and I watched like 5 minutes of it, and Devin Booker did like 4 things that I was like, Jeebus, he's so good. He like has so many just hard shots that are just patent for him. It's crazy. How about a representative of the? Let's see.
So who do you have right now as your locks here? What we got?
Edwards, Wembanyama, and Anthony Davis, I would say,
Yeah.
is what we've said are locks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's weird this year because Doncic has been injured,
Yeah.
so he would normally be a lock, but he hasn't played a lot.
Right, and he's not gonna be healthy for this, so
Yeah. Kyrie Irving's been playing pretty well, but
yeah. I mean, why not an Irving? I mean, he's
Why not?
he's made it before, and they like to, you know.
it all depends on how they feel about flat Earth. You know.
Sure. What about a Domantas Sabonis?
Yeah, I think you gotta consider him. I mean, him or Fox. Yeah.
All right, and we got what about a Morant?
Good question. Do they reward a Morant? I don't actually know what his numbers look like this year, but Memphis has certainly been playing well.
Yeah, they
so
have.
I'd like to get them a representative.
All right.
Houston is second in the West.
So Houston needs.
Nice if they had a representative.
So is that a
Şengün is
Şengün?
probably the best
Okay.
candidate.
So we need a Şengün and either a Jaren Jackson or a Ja Morant, probably, but not
Correct.
both.
That's what I would think.
Okay.
James Harden? You love a James Harden.
Oh, you know me. I love stopping on a dime. I love big beards. What about a
Jalen
Russell
Williams?
Westbrook? who's
The OKC.
he's back,
Thunder?
baby.
Oh, yeah. Westbrook has been playing well.
He's been
lately.
playing great. He's been. I think Jokic said that he can read his mind. The two of them have just like mind meld nowadays, and they're both getting triple doubles.
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's wild.
yeah. Rejuvenated that man's career. I mean, Jokic makes everybody better. It's really amazing. Yeah, I guess we'll get you Norman Powell. Ah, man, that just feels weird, but
Sabonis and either Jaren Jackson Jr.
or Ja Morant. Okay, so I don't
Ja Morant.
need Norman Powell. That makes me feel better.
No.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
No shade,
Done.
Norman Powell. I just don't
Done
think
and
you're an
done.
all-star.
I love Norman Powell.
I do too,
He's great.
but I just don't think he's an all-star.
I feel like you're trying to find a way not to give it to
I
him.
am.
Yeah. He's like, no shade, but can we find a way not to give this to you?
I would take a Norman Powell on my team, but I don't want him on the all-star team.
Not in my backyard.
Exactly.
Kind of guy, right?
24 points a game this year. Should be 43% from three-point range.
Well,
Seems good.
Here's the nice thing about this pod. You'll be hearing this, and then a couple hours later, they'll tell you who's actually on the team, and then you don't have to be mad at me for throwing shade at Norman Powell. You can be mad at Charles Barkley or whoever.
I'm going to be mad at you for other reasons.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, there you have it.
Sweet. All right, guys. And this is one I needed to wait till Harper wasn't here. I wanted to come to you guys for some advice. Look,
You know this is being
know
recorded, right?
I know. Well, here's the thing.
He won't
I know,
listen to this.
I know
it's
he.
fine.
What?
That's a good point.
It's. His name is the Enforcer. Like, it's the nature of the question. I need some advice from you guys. All right, so we had a new neighbor move in down the street from me.
Okay.
And I want to be neighborly, want to welcome them to the area. It's nice to, I think it's nice to have cordial relations with your neighbors. But they're flying a Bucks flag on their house.
Oh no.
So what? So how do I deal with this?
A Bucks fan moved into your neighborhood?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, it's a choice that they've made to fly the Bucks flag in Indianapolis. This wasn't.
Is this flying out in their front yard? Is it in their backyard?
it's
Is
like
it on their car?
right? It's on the house. It's like right.
Like when you go
Right
up to
next
the
to the
door to
door.
drop off the whatever pot roast you're making, will you have to like
Snickerdoodle.
will you have to like take it out of your face to get to the front door?
You gotta walk right by a Bucks flag.
Oh my god. How about this? Snickerdoodles with Pacer frosting, like Pacer logos frosted on them.
That's a good
Good
move.
idea.
Yeah. I mean, just be like, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. And just everything's blue and gold.
You don't want to just sprinkle trash in their yard. I mean, that's not
Right.
the
Right.
way to go.
Because I was.
I mean,
concerned
20 years
Colson-
ago, that's what you do. But now,
Right.
Wait, you could egg the house, but eggs are too expensive.
yeah.
Toilet paper's
exactly.
too expensive, too, I think, honestly. So you don't want to toilet
So
TP the house.
Colson, I thought where you were going with this was, I thought you were going to say to like make them a some sort of venison dish.
Yeah, that's not a bad
Instead of your pot roast, it's
not a bad
venison pot
idea.
roast.
Yeah. And then have Boomer deliver it.
Okay.
So if you could just hire Boomer to drop off the venison dish. Say welcome to the neighborhood. He can't say it, of course. You'd have to have some sort of signage. Boomer doesn't talk.
We could have a before and after picture for the venison.
I'm trying to think if there's a way you can bring up in your initial conversation, Halliburton's game winner or something like that. Or,
Yeah, you know what? They had I do remember the field house. I'd have to look and see if they were still selling it, but the shot that he made to win that series,
Got a floater.
they had that floater. They had a T-shirt made of that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
mean,
wear
maybe-
that.
Yeah, you either wear that or you give them. I mean, it's unconventional to give a art as a gift. As a
For
welcome to the
somebody I
neighborhood,
don't
with like
know.
a framed photo of that, and say, "I saw your Bucks flag, and so I found this photo. There's some Bucks players in here."
Players in the photo.
This is a picture of Giannis, and it's just Giannis watching Halliburton hit a floater.
You like Patrick Beverly, right? Like he's in the
Right.
picture.
Yeah, I mean, what about like, just play dumb? Like, oh man, did they run out of Pacer flags at the store, and then just give them a Pacer flag? Something like that.
You do that. We just. The thing is, it's not like it's in another NBA city, right? And it's a team that we've had beef with recently.
Sure.
Like if this was a Pistons flag, I wouldn't think twice about it. It's like, oh, these people from Detroit, they don't know any better. But the Bucks fans,
I mean, they've already admitted that Indianapolis is a better city than Milwaukee because they've moved here.
yeah,
Fair enough.
So I mean, maybe we've already won.
Okay.
we'll take.
Yeah,
their
I'm trying to
tax
think.
dollars.
I mean, as a fan of a team that lives in foreign
Yeah,
territory,
I guess I'm saying the same thing to you.
I walk around with Pacers gear on all the time.
Me too.
Sure.
Me too.
But nobody cares about the Wizards here. Nobody's offended
Right,
by that,
right.
right?
Same
Like
thing in
if I
Asheville.
were to wear like Colts gear or something like that, or like if I wear well, I guess there's plenty of Ravens fans around here, but yeah, I don't know. People might
Well, I
get
think-
mad if I wear like Philadelphia Philly stuff or something like that.
But like DC's a more, it's more of a melting pot
It's
than
true.
Indy is.
There's people from all over the country,
Yeah.
world that live here. Yeah.
And then Asheville.
No, I mean, nobody cares
there's
about
no-
Charlotte because they're bad at football and basketball.
Sure.
They
Yeah.
care about
Right.
college stuff. There's big UNC, and they like college football, and I don't know. But yeah, they could give two shits that I'm rocking my Pacer flags.
But that's the thing.
So I
is
would say
here-
have no sympathy on them.
I mean, I think that's fair. I think maybe some something tactful could be, blue and gold.
Yeah, no, I think you
Cookies.
give them something nice, but it needs to be Pacer heavy, like little
Sure.
Pacer flags in the
Oh yeah, I've got.
yeah, in each cookie
Yeah.
or blue and gold sprinkles on the casserole or whatever.
Now that I'm thinking of it, they're probably going to get about a dozen koozies too.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. I like this. Welcome to the neighborhood. Here's something for your beer, for your Milwaukee's best.
Get up a case of the beast too.
Yeah. You guys, judging by your flag, you clearly have good taste. Here's a
Yes.
case of the Beast Ice for you.
Beast
Yeah.
ice.
They make the Beast Ice NA.
It is worth checking.
Also, do they make 40 ounces in NA? Because
Not that
I'm
I've
asking
found
for a
yet.
friend.
Not that I've found.
All right. Well, I like your advice. I appreciate it. I think it helped. And the thing is, I haven't spoken to them yet, so I wanted to talk to you guys before I did anything rash.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it should all be very kind, but passive aggressive as hell.
Sure. I mean, that's the Midwest way, right? Like,
Right. They'll understand that language.
Yeah. They get it. If they're from Milwaukee, like they'll feel right at home.
Welcome to the Pacers neighborhood.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate it.
I'm telling you,
And,
consider hiring Boomer because I think that's
No,
so
that's
great.
a-
I love just him silently handing over a casserole. 'Cause
yeah.
he can't talk. Or a
I
venison.
think that's a
dish.
good idea. A venison dish. I would. I would pay money for that. I mean, which is, I think how that works.
I think that's.
With Boomer.
You might have to pay extra to have him strap a buck on top of the Boomer mobile or whatever. He drives.
And what does Boomer drive? Have we ever talked about that?
He might he brings a pogo stick, I think. I don't know.
Ooh. It's a long... I think from the field house, that's a long pogo.
Long pogo. I mean, everything's walkable.
I mean...
In Indiana.
Technically. And pogoable.
That's right. We're going to change the boomerang to the Boomer Pogo.
We'll workshop this one. All right, last thing I want to talk about is another Undegoogable.
Oh, are we doing under Googleables?
That was the plan.
Super excited.
You told us we had to, so.
You said we signed up for it.
In the end, it's going to be better and more true than Google can give you.
So the last one, I just needed just pure advice, but here I need some questions answered. I need some facts, and sometimes we're able to get those kind of things, the facts. But Colson, do you have a question that needs answered this week?
To a T. Why is something to a T? What kind of tea? Is it like a tea drink? Is it like a golf tee? Is it like a T-shirt? I don't even know how to spell it. Is it like a T-square? What does it mean? Where does it come from? Go.
Can you give me an example of when you would use this phrase?
I would say like all the details are correct.
Okay.
That's like I would say it's like, oh, they got everything to a T.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how I would
Okay.
say it. Like all the details are right. Everything on the list is taken care of. No, nothing left undone.
So it's like crossing your T's and dotting your I's.
And dotting your lowercase j's.
Right.
Yes.
I guess I thought of yeah, okay. He described it to a T, so yeah, very accurately.
But no, why the T?
Is it just from the cross your T's?
Well, yeah, I mean, T square has me intrigued. Mm-hmm. I mean, because you use a T square basically to make sure that you have, squared off something or whatever. So it's like, like when you're doing like woodworking and stuff like that, like that's the most important thing. It's like you have to make sure that your things are square. Otherwise, by the time you put together the other side of the box or whatever, it's going to be uneven.
So it's shortening for to a T square?
That I don't know.
Yeah, that's the picture I have in my mind when I think about it is the T square. Because to me it's more about sort of doing it the right way, taking the time, doing the measurements and making sure that all the things were, taken care of.
So I think I'm going golf on this. I think it's about setting things up properly. You'd put your ball on a tee before you swing, and it's setting you up to have the most direct and true hit. So I'm going to say that this phrase came out after golf came out in Scotland in the 1500s.
Well, yeah, that was going to be my next question is when do you think how long have people been using this phrase?
Well, and why not?
This seems more modern to me than...
Why not on a tee instead of to a tee?
Well, I got to walk up to a tee. And also, yeah, but to a tee doesn't really work on T squared either.
I kind of thought, well, I guess the way I think about it is if you've got pencil. You know, you would use it to the T, and then around the corner.
So it's sort of like
That's how
when
I thought
you
about it.
come to a fork in the road, take it.
Yes. Take the path less traveled.
Yeah.
Take the fork less used. I don't remember how it works.
Don't bring a fork to a soup party. That's the phrase, right?
That's it. Yes, that's exactly it.
Now let's run through our things. Is there any way this is like a horse racing thing, or
It's definitely probably
or-
sailing.
sailing? Yeah.
Because you
Did you
also
get it down? Did you get your T knot?
Right. Something about
Correct.
a T knot.
there's also tea, the drink. You like at the beginning, you just rattled off a bunch of
Types of tea.
usages.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the beverage.
Like to a tea party. I'm going to a tea party. To a high tea.
Getting back to the letters thing, I'm wondering if, like, in the printing press days, like, I feel like maybe T's and F's could get mixed up or something like that. So, like, making sure everything was in the right place. Got it down to the T. To a T.
You could see that there'd be a bunch of things that you wouldn't think of when you were like setting the letters on the press
Right.
kind of thing. And there was one we had in the past about, I think, F's and S's.
Yeah.
There was like some font choices back in colonial days that were
Well, they were
different
two
than
different
today.
S's. There was a short S and an elongated S.
Yeah.
But they look like F's.
And I want to tell you something unrelated, but the classes I'm taking online right now, they have like an e-reader. The books are all digital, which is fine. They have an e-reader that you use to read the books, and they nicely have a couple of different fonts to use. One of them is Comic Sans. There's 3 fonts, and one of them is the worst font, besides Wingdings. It's the one that nobody would ever pick. Why somebody did this?
And someone out there's reading in that.
I don't know.
There must be a lot of demand for that. You know?
I don't get it.
Yeah, so I like this in horse racing. Maybe they come to a T, or there's a T not in sailing. Both those.
Or is it a construction thing? Like a T joint or something like that? I don't know.
I mean, they have those for. There's also T's in piping. Oh, what if water comes to a T? It has to shoot off in different ways.
We're all over the place here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've always thought of it, and none of these things have like swayed me. You know, they're interesting, but none of them have really changed my mind that it would be like a closer to a woodworking thing.
Okay.
Like, that's the T square.
I'm gonna go away from golf. I'm gonna go to plumbing now. Sure. And when did they come up with it? Was the Romans came up with plumbing? Let's go with the Romans.
I want to say I'm stuck on the letter thing.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
I like.
But I have no idea.
The printing typesetting.
Printing press, it would be like in the 1600s or something like that.
And Harper texted, he's all about the drink tea.
Okay.
But he said early 2200s, so I don't know. I don't know where he is. Or when.
Let's see. It is spelled with the capital T as far as. Although you can write it as to a T with 2 E's.
Many scholars think the expression comes from an early phrase "to a tittle," which is from a tittle is a tiny mark or a small stroke, such as an accent mark or the mark above a lowercase I or J. To a Tittle appeared in 1607 in a play called The Woman Hater by Francis Beaumont and John Fletcher. And then it's been, has evolved to a T, a capital T. First known written appearance of To a T is from James Wright's The Humors and Conversations of the Town, published in 1693.
1693.
The phrase was likely used before this.
So the tittle, I guess, is those things that the additions to the I, the J, and the T. So it is the lowercase J.
It's interesting. So it seems like I'm reading this long article about refuting it being connected to T from golf, because that's not how the original usage was. So it seems like tittle is, what we're looking at.
Will you stop saying tittle?
It stands up beyond a reasonable doubt to a tittle.
Well, I feel like you should say it long
Yeah,
ways.
it's
now.
to a tittle.
Going for, fits me to a tittle.
It's kind of fun to say. I think we should go with that. We'll bring it back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that I nailed that.
You did nail that.
Yeah. And what we said, 1607?
It's to a tittle is
To a
1607.
Tittle, 1607.
And 1693.
And to a T is 1690 something.
93, yeah. So, and you were talking about typesetting.
Mm-hmm.
So, when was the Gutenberg Bible? 1400s?
1436.
Look at me. So you're only a couple hundred years off.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of humanity, that's pretty good.
I mean, in the grand scope of the universe, like, we nailed
it. And we get, we can start adding printing press to our things here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, is so likely culprits?
Yeah.
Because no one said Shakespeare. No one said Pliny the Elder.
Right. We did discuss horse racing and falconry, I believe.
No falconry.
Sailing.
But sailing, we did. So,
well,
is a T knot a real kind of knot?
No, we made that
I
up.
don't know if a T knot is a thing. I just made that up.
Yeah.
I felt like it could be.
Well, it's definitely not woodworking,
Sure,
so get that out of your head.
All right. Well, I'll do my best. Well, that's a good one.
Yeah. Nice work.
Yeah.
Well, if any listeners have questions that you need answered right away,
Google them.
Google them.
Or
Don't
call
ask Siri, I feel
911.
Call 911. Don't do that. Do we have to put the disclaimer on the show now?
Say, if this is an emergency, hang up and call 911.
It's funny. Anytime I call any doctor's office for anything, that's like the first thing I get more worried after I call them because, like, I need to call to change a scheduled thing or something like that, and they're like, if this is an emergency, hang up. And I was like, is it? Is it an emergency? No, it's not. I think I'm fine, right? Right? Maybe that's just me, but
yeah, and there's no in between option. I was trying to schedule a doctor's appointment or something, a follow up, and it was like if you need urgent care, like you need to see somebody today, do this, or you can send your doctor a message, and they'll get back to you in 3 business days.
Right?
Like, can I have something in between that? I need like like 24 hours or something.
yeah.
Tomorrow?
No,
Can you email me back?
Well, until next time, you can find us in our normal haunts. We're on Twitter. We are at Undebeatables over there. on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is undebeatables.com. There's a contact form there. You can use that to send us a message. Shout out at theundebeatables.com is our website, or that's our email, sorry. And the website /store is our merch.
And we're no longer on TikTok. Is that what you're saying? We don't want to support the.
Well, during the time that TikTok was down, I deleted our account.
Okay.
But when it came back, and then I thanked Trump, and then restored our account.
As long as we thank Trump, we get our account back, right?
Yeah. And then they just gave me a pardon. I don't even know what it's for.
It's preemptive. You can do whatever you want.
That's right.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think you could go egg your neighbor's house now.
Yeah. Now we have a lot more options for where you're going to do this Bucks fan.
well, not doing eggs. I'm not made of eggs.
That's true. But we can definitely get the enforcer's advice now, since you have that
okay.
pardon.
Well, that changes everything. I forgot to mention that part.
For the architect Donnie Walsh and our once and always Hall of Fame coach Bobby Leonard, turn out the lights. The party's over.
Yeah, I wonder if there's you could do like I feel like a slow torture sort of things in order here. Like a small hole in the foundation or something like that. That their house just slowly sinks into the ground.
I was thinking you'd slowly make them Pacer fans, not have their house sink into the ground.
Right.
You know what we could do?
They've made their choice, John.
That's right.
We could do something like
their own grave.
Like we could do, at the beginning of every Pacers game, the team runs out. There's like flames shooting up. We could bring that team, just do it in their house while they're sleeping or something like that.
Sure. Yeah. I think you should constantly bring up the state of Giannis's knees,
Mm-hmm.
Should I only talk about Thanasis?
Yeah.
Every time they bring up Giannis, you just direct the conversation to Thanasis.
It'd be fun if I had like a million fun facts about Thanasis. Did you know he plays the tuba? Like David West?
Oh, you mean that Antetokounmpo?
You got to clarify,
That's
man.
Right. I just always assume Thanasis.
Yeah, that's fair. And then casually work in the Pacers keep knocking them out of the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're gonna play them this season. I'm assuming we'll have home court as well.
Yeah,
against them.
Look and see when the next.
And so I think
game.
Maybe just do outdoor parties, like projected on the side of their house, like the game.
March 15th. Pacers play the Bucks.
Yeah.
I need to have an answer by then.
And then if the playoffs started today, we'd play them in the first round.
That's right.
Again.
We'd bounce them in the first round.
Again.
That's right. While we slowly dig out the man's foundation.
I got a pardon. It's fine.
This
get to be amoral going forward.
Just the thing that's annoying. They just keep having to bring contractors in that can't quite figure out what's going on.
Because you keep sending Waywin over with a spoon.
Just chip away at this part.
Yep.
This isn't admissible in a court of law, right? You got the pardon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're recording this? Uh-oh.
Stop now.